I'm half Finnish, half Estonian, and the Finns, they are the most newspaper or news article religious people in the world. They believe everything that is said in the news. It's like white gold for them. And in opposite, there are Estonians, and Estonian newspapers are so full of bullshit. Just funny to look when you look at the headings of those articles, how many contradictions there are. And I'm not saying that you should not read news. I'm saying that you should start filtering out what kind of news you are reading and how often. You do not have to read news every morning or every day. When something important happens, eventually someone will come and tell you that this thing has happened. Because the main purpose of the news, of the modern news machines, the newspapers, the news portals, is not about educating people about things that are going on in the world. No. Their main objection and goal is to manipulate you and me, us, to have more fear in our lives, sadly. When I was a child, and when there was a radio playing in the car, I got so frustrated. I was screaming at the back seat, "Shut down the radio! Shut down the radio!" Because I could not tolerate the music or the text, the speech that was coming from there. Because I understood through my instincts as a little child that there was something out of tune, something off. That's why I make music. I'm a musician or a sound vibrational specialist by my calling, and most of the time I do not listen to any music because it also attunes us to a certain frequency, to a certain bandwidth. For example, let's imagine a great festival, a Glastonbury, and there's Radiohead playing or someone else, and people come and they are tuned together when the band is playing. They are attuned to a certain vibration. And why I do not listen to music most of the time? Because most of the time I'm connected to my own music, and that's another topic. But most of the time I just have to focus on my own ideas, on my own feelings, that I do not want to feel something that someone else is emitting on this very particular moment. And it's not good or bad. I'm neutral about it. But when it comes to random music that comes from radio or somewhere else, then it's dangerous. Not in a short period of time, like few days or once in a day, whatever. But if you are periodically listening to crap love songs, like most of the pop music is made of crap love songs. Someone seduces someone has a broken heart, and someone has got big money bitches, and you listen to it. You are tuning your brain to a certain frequency, and most of the time it is a lack of something, lack of love, lack of money, lack of perception of reality, you see. So it's so important that we understand the things that we are consuming and how do those things affect our subconscious brain. The story in the subconscious is the most important story that we are listening all the time. For example, a person sees something and gives an impression like, oh, I feel bad, and it's the story in our subconscious. And now we are going really deep. So everything that you are living, me also, this greenhouse. This is a fruit of my imagination. And how good are you or me in utilizing our imagination? How good are we? Most of the time, I'm not that good in it, but I'm getting better. And I hope you, after watching this video, you will also take more notice of the things that you are consuming and thinking all day long. And when I'm saying thinking, I also mean, how do you feel in certain situations? For example, rate it from 1 to 10. How do you feel like when you are giving out your money, purchasing something for your spouse or for your children? Do you feel in 1 to 10? Do you feel it being a positive thing or a negative? 1 is extremely negative, like, I'm straining my money. And 10 is like, whoa, I'm giving something good away. I'm doing something good for someone. And then let's do 1 to 10. How is it receiving money when some stranger comes and offers you 1,000 euros, for example, on the street? Do you feel 5 neutral, 1 really bad about it, 10 very good? That's also a feeling and a story that we are telling to ourselves. And by attuning ourselves, the aim is to find this sense of neutrality. And I do not mean numbness, like, the song by Linkin Park. When I was young, the numb, I'm becoming so... I cannot sing the song, but I'm becoming so numb, the song, the lyrics. And I was listening to it, and I was listening to it, and I was listening to it, because it was played on countless occasions on the radio. And it programmed my mind. When I was a teenager, in most situations, I was feeling so numb, and I hated my life. And the music that I was listening quite often had an effect on it. But then I started listening to some music that programmed me in a different way. I had a different kind of attunement. For example, Oasis, Live Forever. I'm gonna live forever. And I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna. But then I was listening to the Smiths, and they have this album, Meat is Murder. And I did not know when I was a teenager what does this album mean and what they are singing about. I was just listening to music and I was like, yeah. But then suddenly, 14 years ago, in 2011, and I think it was 11th of November, 11/11/11, when I became a vegetarian. I did not know anything about vegetarians or veganism. I did not know anything about it. Just one day I had the sensation, I do not want to eat meat no more. Eating meat felt out of tune, felt something bad for my body, and I stopped it. And later I have reflected back to that time, and during that time my friend told me that there is such thing as lucid dreaming. So I went to Google and found out, lucid dreaming, and I found different ways how you can enter your lucid state of mind. One of those is this exercise that you try to push one hand through the other one, and in the dream state you can push your hand through your other hand. So so that's one of the ways. Another way was going straight from your body to a deep state of mind into your dream. And so I was testing it, and suddenly one night I went straight into the middle of the cosmos, and I felt the sensation that everything is related. All is related. And after that sensation, after that experience, I stopped eating meat. and something happened in my consciousness. I started to search for something more, a connection, a belonging in this world that I had never felt before. And from there I found out the sound therapy, the healing sounds, and started learning about vibration and how sound vibration actually affect our consciousness, our minds, and will bring us to heightened state of being, to a being where the vibration is in attunement with our core being. And that has been my journey since that. And by using sound, playing healing sounds, singing overtones, I have had to cleanse a lot of my inner emotions. Some people say it's a trauma from the past. And I have also had great visions and sightings. And some people ask, oh, you take a lot of drugs or whatever. No, I'm a teetotal. Or I loved this band once upon a time. It was called Fugazi. Yes, Fugazi. Yeah, and they were a straight edge hardcore punk band. Yeah, and they said they are straight edge. They did not do any drugs, no alcohol, no anything, and me neither. I just don't need that stuff. I just enjoy my life and the sounds, the gong, the singing bowls, and also overtone singing. It fuels me. It gives me this heightened state of clarity. It's not like a psychedelic experience, but it's clear. I'm feeling I'm clear in my mind, in my body, in my soul. And that's kind of an attunement that everyone should expect and aim for. That's why I also choose what kind of things I do consume or not. Because consuming too many news, I'm attuned to fear. I tried a month ago to start doing some sketches, some funny videos in my own language, in Estonian, in the Elvish language, about the news of the fear. And I started reading news on a daily basis and doing those news. And after a few weeks, I noticed that, whoa, I'm feeling quite down. I'm feeling quite, how could I explain it? Fragile and anxious at the same time about the things that are going on in the world. Although I did not believe those things in the news, I started programming my mind with the words and the feelings that they were conveying to me. So I stopped, and until this day I do not know what's going on in this world. Although I sometimes read the news, sometimes I read, and then I read it from many sources, because you cannot believe in the one sorcerer who is trying to hide your mind from the truth. But then, on my journey with the vibrations, I have found out that there are so many things that we must master, like the right nutrition, the water. Did you know that most people are dry in their bodies? They are drinking wrong kind of water, dead water, the tap water or bottled water, and they started exploring the benefits of drinking living water and drinking it. I started learning about electroculture, making antennas in my garden, playing sounds to the plants. We went even to a sanctuary, or actually an eco-village, where they have invented a machine that transmits the sound of the plants, the music of all living beings of the plants. And over there I realized, wow, yes, that's my realization. And bringing all this knowledge back to our garden as I am a beast of the nature. I love being outside. And when we built those antennas, we had some amazing results from it. Like beetroots were the size of my head in this cold climate. On this very moment, I'm discovering some other devices that could benefit the natural vibration over here, and would like to build one day a winter garden, an orangery, where we have a free energy machine that is actually creating warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer, so we could have plentiful harvest all season long. That's one of the experiments that I want to conduct in my life in upcoming years. So discovering new insights about vibration and sound gives new possibilities how to experience this life in a more multi-dimensional way. Like, I know so many people who are living in eco-villages and creating totally amazing things, inventions. Like in Findhorn in Scotland, they have created a water sewage system that goes through different layers of plants and microbiome, that in the end the wastewater becomes into a drinking water. That's just amazing. There are so many such systems and machinery and inventions created in this world, and many of them are based on sound vibration. That's something that ignites my heart and gives me this sensation of burning in my heart and urgency, that together we can make this world a better place. So if you like this story that I'm telling to you, and you feel this calling, then I'm doing one-on-one personal attunements with sound. You choose the sum you pay, 55, 111, 77, 333 euros, whatever is suitable for you. And we will do it with crystal singing bowls and overdone singing, that we will attune you to your mission, to your soul's purpose. And you can also subscribe. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon again. Goodbye.